Not every diesel locomotive is flawless, but some are certainly more flawed than others. Engine failures, dodgy electrics, or sometimes a simple lack of power are common ailments among many different diesel designs. But there are some that have more unique faults that set them apart from the rest. Flames out of the exhaust or overheating components come to mind, but one class of diesels stand out among the rest for their uncanny ability to frequently set themselves on fire. By the 1980s, the VR group of Finland were in need of new passenger locomotives for use on the country's network. Though electrification of the main lines was underway, there were still several smaller low-traffic branch lines that still needed servicing but were uneconomical to electrify. These were usually serviced by a diesel locomotive pulling a few carriages, but this was awkward and inefficient, and as such it was decided diesel railcars would be better suited for the job. VR experimented with converting some old carriages into railcars and ordered a few from a company in Spain that didn't match expectations before putting in an order with Czech manufacturer Český Vagonka in 2001. The design they came up with was a 25.2 meter long railcar fitted with 62 seats, space for an additional 50 people to stand, and a wheelchair space and a lift to help disabled passengers on and off. They were even fitted with toilets too. With a cab set at each end, the railcars were to be powered by a pair of Volvo engines using hydraulic transmission to transfer the power to the wheels, though these Volvo engines were replaced with 6-cylinder MAN engines instead, each capable of producing 404 horsepower. The choice to swap the engines was made to ensure the longevity of the railcars, as the original Volvo ones were being discontinued, meaning sourcing parts for repairs and replacements would be significantly more difficult. Ease of maintenance was a key factor in the railcar's design, as many components were designed to be modular, making it a simple process to remove and install parts during servicing. The first of these railcars was completed in 2004 and delivered to Finland in December. During testing, it was found to be capable of reaching 120 km an hour, and after making some modifications to the seating and air intake in 2005, the railcar was deemed satisfactory. Classed as the Dm12, the second was delivered in August that same year, and by 2006, 16 Dm12s were working on various branch lines around eastern and central Finland. As well as working alone, the railcars are also capable of working in multiple unit configurations, with up to 3 units capable of working together at once. For a few years, they seemed to be ideal branch line machines and managed to do their work without issue, but with time, their shortcomings began to become more known. Passengers complained about the seats being cramped and uncomfortable, something that isn't helped by some journey times being upwards of 2 hours. And the lack of luggage space only exacerbates things. On top of that, it's found they often don't have sufficient passenger capacity on busier days or the weekends, with services usually being taken over by a 4-carriage railcar or sometimes even a traditional locomotive pulling carriages. As more diesel railcars and locomotives have been taken out of service in recent years due to electrification, buses have had to be used as substitutes on busy days too. They've also proven to be mechanically unreliable, breaking down and failing frequently to the point where an average of 1 train a day is cancelled due to some kind of fault with the railcars. But of all things, their most infamous reoccurring issue is their flammability. Between 2007 and 2024, across 16 individual railcars, there have been 19 accounts of the Dm12s bursting into flames. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 14 and 16 have burst into flames once, numbers 10 and 13 have caught fire twice, and numbers 5 and 12 have combusted 3 times each. Which railcar was the 19th to catch fire is currently unknown. Of these fires, 9 were reported as starting in an engine bay, 1 was the result of an accident, and the causes of the remaining 9 are unspecified. Luckily, in spite of their frequency, the fires have only ever resulted in a few minor injuries. It seems that many of these fires were caused by wear and tear. Leaking fuel pipes or oil dripping onto the hot engine are frequently noted as the reason behind the fires. Not helping is that the Dm12s are noted as having a habit of picking up flammable materials in summer. Their engines are enclosed in an aluminium casing to help protect against snow and ice, but these often get damaged in the winter, which is what causes the pipes to leak. Then, in the warmer summer months, leaves, twigs, and other plant matter gets caught in the casings and rests against the hot engine, eventually causing it all to catch fire. All 16 railcars were taken out of service in 2012 to have their fuel lines replaced after 2 fires broke out within 7 days of one another, but this seems to have done little to alleviate the combustion issue. Even with their fiery faults though, all 16 Dm12s are still in service to this day, with plans at the moment seemingly to keep them in service until the end of 2030. Whether they'll keep bursting into flames, however, is yet to be seen. All we can do for now though is hope that they won't get fired in the meantime. Subscribe for more.